Welcome back all day, Benny versus the Ferret business. This week we're going to take a brief look at what we're going to do with all that Terrasteel. So, our Terrasteel does not work to make our cleaver because it does not smelt in the smeltery. So, this is the plan. We are going to make new gear out of our Terrasteel. So, with 3 pieces of Terrasteel, our Mana Steel chestplate, 2 living twigs, and a rune of summer, we can make the Terrasteel chestplate. That being said, I'm lacking some of the runes. I do have this rune of winter, which will allow us to change our boots. So let's do that first. So, put that in there. Boom. So what does that give us? Armor set Will the Ancients, 20% less mana cost on mana tools and rods, which is nice. Regen even if hunger isn't topped off. Passive mana generation on mana tablets, which is going to be the big thing. So, put that back on. And in all reality, what should happen is that our mana tablet should actually start gaining mana, especially once we're able to do all of these. But for the moment, that's not what we're going to work on. I will work on making those runes, and I'll bring it back in before we do those. We're going to go take a look at what we did with our AE2 since last week. So I did make the crystal growth chambers, which I think sped up the seed growth to about 3 minutes each. We now have the crystal, the super chamber here, and the nice thing about this is you actually don't have to have water around it. You put the seeds straight in. The seeds grow pretty darn fast as well. I don't have any on me at the moment. Do I have any dust? No, I don't. That is silly of me. Tell you what, let's do one real quick. And do I have any sand in there? I do. Let's just do one real quick so we can see how fast it is. Not that one. Do I have any? You know what? Let's do this. Let's break this apart. So I'm pretty sure. So do that. Let's grab some more sand. 8 fluic seeds, and let's watch how fast this thing is. And so we're looking at like, what's that, like 30 seconds? 100 seconds to make this grow? No, like it's like, so super fast. That's awesome. It is fed off of our ME2 system. This is our old energy cell, and I made a new one because it holds a lot more energy. The dense energy cell is 8 of these surrounded by surrounding a processor. So it's it took quite a bit to make, which is fine. We have the resources now. Let me spell that right. Let's see, where was that? So this was the normal energy cell, quartz glass, fluix dust, some charged crystals. This one was 8 of those. So I did have to actually make some more fluix dust, make it into crystals, and I also had to charge a bunch of crystals in our charger. So that was pretty cool. I did make the ME controller, which is going to be the brain of our system. So the ME controller is an engineered processor surrounded by some skystone, which we had, and some pure fluix crystals, which we already had as well, which we made by dropping a seed and sand into a puddle of water. Oh, actually, we didn't do that because we used this. We used the growth chamber. So that was easy. The charging the crystals was took a bit longer. And our engineering processor was made with an inscriber, with a printed engineering circuit and a printed silicone. with redstone, and the printed engineering circuit was made with our inscriber engineering press and a diamond, so it's a bit pricey. And the silicone was with the inscriber silicone and some silicone, which is just some sand in the pulverizer, so that was pretty easy. We had a bunch of inscribers. I have made the advanced inscriber, because the normal inscribers, you could not put stacks of things in here. You had to do them one at a time, and that was super slow. They would stack here in the final, but you could not stack stuff in here. So I made a bunch of advanced inscribers because we can put items in here. We can put the inscribers in here, the plates. We can stack the materials in there and just let it run. So that'll be cool. I also discovered when I put this one in that I do not have to hook these all up with ME glass cable, because these will feed power off each other. So that's pretty cool. What's next in our system? We need to find that out. We have an ME controller. We do need to do an ME drive. So the ME drive will be our next project. The ME drive is crucial because it is going to hold our storage cells. So the storage cells act much like hard drives. They're going to go into our ME drive, which can hold many of these. The storage cell will hold 1,024 bytes. So what that means is it'll hold 1,024 items, or 63 unique types of items. So if I put in cobblestone and smooth stone, that's 2 types of items. If I put in 512 of each, although it's only 2 types of items, the bytes will be all used up and it'll be full. So we will have to be careful, because the items that don't stack, like records and things like that, going into here could easily use up a whole drive, 63 types, really, really fast. The 1K drive is pretty small. We're going to see the 4K, the bytes used, the number of bytes we can use goes up by quite a bit, and so on and so forth. The big drives, of course, take the small drives to make. So the ME4 4K storage component takes a lot of the components, takes the 1K component, which you use to make the 1K cell. So we're going to make a couple 1K cells, which may be kind of useless, because we'll probably actually, you know what, we should probably just go straight to 4K cells. So that's going to take a bit of crafting. So let me get some of the stuff ready, and we will come back once I have the materials ready after going through a bunch of our advanced inscriber stuff. Back in a bit. Alright, so here we go. We have made 9 and 18 and 27 of the 1K ME storage. So that was the logic processor, surrounded by I believe we did the pure Certus quartz, because we can grow a bunch of those, and then the redstone, and then of course the logic processor was a printed logic circuit with the printed silicone and a redstone into the inscriber, in our case the advanced inscriber, which we're going to look up in a moment. Made us a logic processor. How did we get to the printed? Well, we did the inscriber logic press, which we found in one of the meteors, and some gold. Boom. I just put in a stack of these, and I put in 27 gold ingots, and we got a bunch of those. And then, of course, the silicon, printed silicone is the inscriber silicone press, and some silicone, which, of course, is the sand in a crusher, or in our case, the pulverizer. So we have a bunch of these. So now, here's the deal. I could go ahead and make the 4K. Where'd they go? They disappear off this page. There they are. So let's look at the 4K. So the 4K unit needs what we have in the crafting table, and then a calculation processor. How do we make the calculation processor? Well, let's look that up. Printed and some silicone, some redstone, but the printed calculation circuit is what? Pure Certus quartz crystals and an inscriber calculation press. So we need to make a bunch of those. In fact, I believe 9 of those. So here's the deal. We can make 9 of those. We make the 4K. 4K. Let me look up the name here. 4K ME storage component. We could do that. We could make it, and then we could put that into the storage cell, and we could make our 4K drives. You know what? I made 27 of them because I decided, let's just go for broke. Let's go all the way up to 64K. I know it's only going to be one drive, which is a bit of an issue because the one drive will only be able to hold 63 items, but I think it's just kind of fun. So I can do a couple of those, then we can have a ton of storage. Of course, we'll have one disk drive, which I believe there's 8 disks that can fit into it. Let's just go back a moment. Let's take a look at that. So the ME drive, it's 10 or 12 maybe. I think every slot on the front on the graphic actually is a spot that the can fit a drive. I could be wrong. We'll find out when we make one of these. But for now, I want to try and go all the way up to the 64K ME storage, which can hold a bunch of stuff for the time being, and then we will probably scale back. I don't know. I could make a couple of these. I'll have to see how far we can get because, of course, the one problem we have is 4K. So to make the 4K, that's fine. To make the 16, right. So let's look at the 4K again. To make the 4K, we need the calculation circuit. So we need 9 of these, which means we need 9 of the pure Certus quartz. So let's go look for those. I have 9 of those left. Yeah, I got a couple. Oh look, I've got them right in my inventory. That's right, because I've already set this up. That's the problem with cutting, stopping recording and starting on another day. So you forget what you've done. All right, let's look in here. So yeah, I've already got this already set up. So let's put the 9 of them in here. We're gonna see, we put them in. See, we can put a whole stack in. The normal inscriber, we can only put in 1 at a time. It's pretty annoying. Let's look at inscriber while we're here. So we look at our advanced inscriber. So now if you're only running Applied Energistics 2, you will not find the advanced inscriber because that is part of the mod called AE2 stuff. I'm not familiar with all the mods in this pack. In fact, every time I play this game, I keep finding a mod I didn't know existed. And a lot of them kind of build on the previous other mods that are popular. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to tweak them a bit. So if you are running this and you are running AE2 and you're going, hey, I can't find my advanced inscriber, there's no recipe, that's why, because you need to load the AE2 stuff. So, which may or may not be helpful for you. So here we have the other advanced inscriber. We've got the printed silicone and the redstone, and I do enjoy that. Unlocked can be removed. Oh, cool. All right, we'll look at that later. We'll be able to automate that. So we're gonna make 9 of those, and let's open up. Let's go back to applied. So one of the search engines in Not Enough Items is really cool. If you do the and then you do the name of the mod, it will actually list the stuff in the mod. So I can get a full list of the mod of everything in the mod. There's another way to do it, but I prefer this way. I think there's another in another inventory slot. So, but let's look at so we're doing the 4K. So next we need to do is the 16K. So that's the 4Ks that we're about to make. So we need some quartz glass and some glowstone. So let's go find some quartz glass and glowstone. Do I have some in here? Quartz glass, look at that. And so that's filled there. So let's put this over here. Quartz glass. Glowstone. I know I have some. The question is, where? It'd be nice to actually get this all confined into one small spot so I can actually find everything. And, oh, there's some glowstone. Do I have any? No, that's nether sulfur ore. Interesting. Glowstone. So I need 4. Now, one thing I'm not calculating here. So we are going to make what? 9, which would be 3 and 3. So we need 3 of each. Okay, so let me get the 2 more of those. Oops, put you in there. Let's get 8 more glowstone. And pop you in there. So once we have this crafted, we actually will be able to do some auto crafting as well. So that's going to be a big thing. How are we doing on? Not bad. I'm actually impressed how slow those are going. How slow they are consuming our ender pearls, which is encouraging, to say the least. Look at that. 4K ME storage, 9 of them. Woohoo! So, 3. Alright, so we need to do 16K. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Engineering processor. So engineering processor, so we're going to need 3 of these. So let's get the printed silicone and redstone. 1, 2, 3. Let's look at the printed silicone. How much do I have left? Oh yeah, I got a lot. 3. And where are we going to put that? We're going to put that over in one of our drives over here. Put it in the second one because the first one we will use to create. Oops, that one. That's what I'm looking for. The engineering processor. We need the printed engineering circuit. So that's an engineering press and diamonds. We need 3 diamonds and an engineering press. Let's take this out for the moment. If I was smart, I'd move this chest over there. Haha. Engineering press. Do we have any diamonds in here? No. We're going to have to go look for some. And I think there's some on the other side here. How many do we have? 14. Of course, the next idea is that once we have this set up, we will be able to go over to the Twilight Forest and set up a quarry, and basically we're going to play Fern Gully. Every time I'm in the Twilight Forest, I find one of the large hills with all the, monsters and the and all the resources inside, and I set up a quarry over top of it, and I basically flatten the whole thing. Makes me think a lot of the old animated movie called Fern Gully, and I'm not playing the good guys in that one. So it's kind of funny how Minecraft has made me more environmentally conscious in that solar power is much more efficient to use in this game than coal, which has actually made me want to use solar power more in real life. And yet then I go into the forest and I, bulldoze the whole thing down so that I can do so I can get the resources. So I basically strip mine a forest. So anyway, moving on. So we've got our 16Ks. I'm actually surprised how fast this is going. This is pretty cool. So we want 1 quartz glass and 4 glowstone. And then we got to make the next inscribed bit. Glowstone was over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the corners. Not that one. And 64. Engineering processor, which is what we just did, isn't it? Yes. So, which means I need 1 redstone and then 1 more diamond. Oops, I did. Oh, it's in my inventory. Haha, look at that. And I'll put the redstone there. We'll find some silicone. Some printed silicone. And that in there. That should be done. That's working. What else do I need? Now we need to set up everything else. Oh, that's not too bad. So 64, so 2 quartz glass, some redstone, and some iron. That's not bad at all. Redstone, what do I need? 3 and some iron. Just gonna be here. And let's set that up down there. So 2, 2, 3, and straight across the bottom. Oh, that's cool. So I can make these blank, and then block container. Oh, that's cool. So that's a way to store a whole bunch of one type, so like cobblestone or whatever. That's very cool. Spatial storage. Spatial component. Which I'm not sure what the spatial storage cell is. I'm guessing it's a huge cell. But I don't know. And yeah, so if I have an empty one and I combine it with those, that's cool. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, that's very cool. So you can make a bunch of them ahead of time and then decide what you want to put in them. And let's put that in there. 64K. Put that in there. We get a 64K ME cell. Better than chests. Look at that. We have an achievement. Achievements. Where is it? Ooh, storage cell. Craft a storage cell. What's this? Storage cell shuffle. Craft an I/O port. I wonder if the I/O port is probably how we're gonna get all the stuff into the drive, possibly on and off. I know you can swap drives back and forth. So, what else we got going on in here? The crafting unit. Yes, that'll be awesome. Portable cell network. Reach 8 channels using device on a network. Okay. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute. So we have our drive. Yay! Our storage cell. Speaking of drives, let's make a drive. How do we make a drive? Oh, the other thing I should mention. If we look at our quest book here, crystalline storage, we are done the quest book. So I'm not sure if there's more of this that opens up at some point, but we are done crystalline storage. Like, it's done. Page is done. There's nothing else to go. I'm kind of hoping that as we open up other things, it'll open some stuff up, but at this point, I don't know. So we'll have to see. Anyway, oh, magical flowers. Right, need to get back into that at some point. But I've already done that. Yeah, so there's some stuff here in Botania I'll have to get back to. I've actually done most of this stuff now. It's just the I haven't done it in the right order, so I did it early before I had unlocked the previous steps. So that's going to be kind of annoying. Anyway, let me get some stuff together, and we'll come back and we'll look at making ourselves an ME drive. All right, here we are. This was pretty easy. We have some ME glass cable, which we had left over from previous project, which is just the quartz fiber cable, some pure fluix or some fluix crystals, and which was the nether quartz dust and some glass. So that wasn't too bad. We also had our engineering processors, which we just made a whole bunch of. So that's the inscriber engineering press, then a diamond with some printed silicone, some redstone, brings us our engineering press. So it's pretty easy. ME drive, bam. Now, let's see how we set this up again. It's been a little while. There's also stuff such as... there's some new stuff since I've been doing this, and we'll have to see... Oh, I see. So you can set a priority. That's cool. So you can see this will hold 10 drives. So let's check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10 drives. You can see the front panel shows us that these are empty, but this one is full. Sorry, this one has a drive in it. You can see the green light says that it has room. When it turns yellow, it means it's running out of room. Whether that is it's running up to the bytes used or the types used, hard to say. And once it hits red, it means it will not accept anything else. Now, I believe to get things in here, we need to do an I/O port. So let's find the in-out vibration chamber interface. Interface is going to be cool because that allows us to use the machines. Spatial I/O port. I think that's not really what I want at the moment. I think that's probably a higher version of what I'm looking for. Wireless access point. Maybe that is it. Alright, give me a sec to search, and you know what? Here. Look, we have this whole thing down here that allows us to search for things. Oh, spatial I/O port, ME I/O port. Okay, so that's, I think, the one I want. Oh, jeez, you're kidding me, right? What's the other one? Oh, which is not. So this is an expanded version of. All right, so this is going to take a bit of crafting because in order to do the I/O, we need to make 2 whole drives. So give me a moment, and I will be back. Oh, so it's 4 more diamonds. Okay, give me a moment, and let me craft this up, and we'll be right back. Okay, that's not so bad.
Alright, all. That's going to do it for this week. I will continue right where we left off next week. Once I've done some research on some items, we will get into putting items into our ME disk drives. We'll start getting rid of those silly little storage drawers. Handy up until now, but they take up way too much room. If you liked the episode, hit the like button. If you're enjoying the series, hit subscribe, and feel free to share with your friends. I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye. See yas.